spend today? How is Radhastami celebrated in Mayapur?
We're going to talk about Radharani's pastimes with Krishna. There's thousands of pastimes. And so we'll absorb ourselves in discussing the wonderful pastimes that Radharani had with Krishna, the gopis. We'll be chanting Sankirtan Yagya. Yeah. When Radha and Krishna took form of peacocks and they were dancing, all the gopis descended in that area, millions of gopis, and they started chanting Radha Krishna, Hare Krishna, and they started doing Sankirtan. And this is like a prelude to Kali Yuga, where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu established the Sankirtan Yagya as the means of developing our love for Krishna. Congregational chanting of Radha, Krishna, and Balaram's names. So today we'll be doing some Sankirtan Yagya, which is a manifestation of Radha Krishna's love. We'll be enjoying Mahaprasadam, because Radharani is so kind, she allows us to fast only for half a day. And then we'll relish the prasadam of Radharani. Well, speaking about Radha and Krishna, when Radharani hears Krishna's flute, her body starts trembling. And she says, "There's no cold wind blowing, why is my body trembling? I don't see any snowfall, why is my body trembling?" When Krishna hears the two syllables Radha, all the hairs on his body stand up on end. He's conquered by the love of Srimati Radharani. So in that way, we're going to just talk about the glories of Radha and Krishna.
So, Prabhu says that there is a conversation with the disciples between Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati and his disciples, and stating the example of other sampradayas, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said that other sampradayas worship Krishna is the main goal, and Radharani just because she is with Krishna. However, we Gaudiya Vaishnavas worship Radharani as the main goal, and as because the Krishna is the loving object of Radharani, that's why we worship him. Can you please comment on that?
Well, Radharani, Krishna is the energetic, Radharani is the energy. So in Goloka Vrindavan, Krishna is thinking, I'm the energetic, but how can I enjoy it without the energy? So from the left side of his body manifested Radharani. And she's so full of varieties of Shaktis and potencies. Only then could Krishna really enjoy his energy and become totally blissful. So it's also stated by Narottam Das Thakur that, first of all, Vino Nitai Bai Radha Krishna Poitina, one cannot get any mercy of Radha and Krishna without pleasing the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. But then one cannot even get directly the mercy of Krishna without first pleasing Srimati Radharani. Her name is derived from the Sanskrit word Aradhanam. Aradhana means to worship. So Krishna is one who is worshipped by Radharani. And we know that Krishna is more interested in the worship of his devotee, Radharani, than in direct worship of himself. This is the Vaishnava psychology. It's described by Krishnadas Kaviraj that the gopis are like, They're like vines going around the tumultuary of Krishna. And this vine or this creeper is very thick. That thick creeper represents Radharani. And the offshoots, the smaller branches and so on represent the gopis. The gopis derive more pleasure from assisting the creeper, Radharani creeper, in pleasing the tumultuary of Krishna than direct contact with tumultuary of Krishna. So how is Krishna pleased? When his devotees try to please his devotees, Radharani. Radharani in that way is a manifestation of the power of love of God, which is in itself more powerful than Krishna himself. Although Krishna has the power of creating the entire universe and maintaining it and destroying it, the power of Radharani and her love for Krishna is more powerful than all that. She's full control of Lord Krishna. In this way, we always want to please Srimati Radharani.
What is the tattva that Srimati Radharani is?
Well, tattva means the truth, or we say that Radharani is the pleasure potency of Krishna, Lahadini Shakti, Aladini Shakti. So in order for Krishna to experience any pleasure, he has to rely on Aladini Shakti, or Radharani. In fact, when in the pinnacle of pleasure is the Rasa Leela dance. All the demigods came down to watch it. Lord Indra, he was in such ecstasy seeing this Rasa Leela dance that all the eyes on his body were flowing with tears and washing the whole Rasa Leela, the gopis and Krishna, with the showers of his tears. Although it was so wonderful, Krishna felt, I can't fully enjoy unless I'm alone with Radharani. And Radharani felt, I really want to be alone with Krishna. This is the greatest pleasure, and I'm supposedly, she's the topmost of all the devotees. So Krishna abandoned the arena of the Rasa dance, and Radharani abandoned the arena of the Rasa dance. And when Radharani left Krishna, he thought, Radharani is gone. How can I find any pleasure? Although he was with so many gopis. Vishaka says that without Radharani, Krishna, even the pleasure gopis can give you is insufficient. This is Vishaka's statement too. She says this actually to Radharani. And Krishna says, Radharani, you are my life and soul. So we know that Krishna and Radha went into the forest after the Rasa Leela dance. But Radharani started feeling proud. It's ecstatic love in the mood of pride. Look, I am the topmost devotee. And we know that Krishna abandoned her. Momentarily he abandoned her in the forest. And all the other gopis, they also were proud and they were also abandoned by Krishna. And then they went into the forest searching for Krishna. They were in ecstasy of madness. They were talking to the trees. Have you seen Krishna go this way? They were talking to the creepers. Have you seen Krishna go by this way? I can see you have some kumkum powder from the breast of Radharani on your leaves. They were talking to the doe and the deer. Have you seen Krishna go this way? They were enacting the pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan, trying to find Krishna. Putana one was acting like Putana, one was acting like Trinavarta, one was acting like Adasura. In this way, they were completely absorbed in the pastimes of Krishna in separation. So without Radha, Krishna is nothing. Krishna feels empty and vacant without Radharani. Vishaka said that when one sees the face of Radharani, the glowing face of Radharani, he becomes hateful towards the moon. So we're going to just reflect on all these wonderful qualities of Radharani today.
So today's verse was about the Hayagriva. One of the devotees pandits are asking, wasn't there a Jayatirtha Goswami or somebody in our Sampradaya who was worshipping Hayagriva? And what would be their impetus to serve the Lord in such an incarnation?
Oh, what's the impetus? To serve the Lord.
Do you know who in our Sampradaya worshipped Hayagriva?
No, I don't. I know that Jayadev Goswami wrote Das Avatar, and he glorified Hayagriva, one of the Das Avatars. Just as Prahlad Maharaj worshipped the avatar Nrsingadev, so at different times the Lord appears as a tortoise, as a fish. Keshavadrita Meena Sharira, he came as a fish and saved the demigods from the flood, the great flood in the Vedas. So this is another Leela of the Lord. And devotees never become exhausted from meditating on the Lord's variegated Shaktis and aspects. And even though a devotee may be worshipped Hayagriva in his form of a horse, he may incarnate just as Prahlad incarnated even in Kali Yuga as Vasudeva Dutt. So the Lord allows His devotees to manifest as different forms of devotees in different kalas and different yugas, and performing various pastimes, going on constantly in millions and millions and trillions of universes. These things are going on as we speak. Nitya Lila Pravishtom. Somewhere the sun is 6 a.m. Not here, but somewhere. So somewhere Radharani is appearing right now. In some universe she's appearing in the house of Vrishabhanu and Kirtida. Somewhere she's being blessed by Durvasa Muni. Whatever she cooks will be extremely pleasing to everyone, and she'll never cook the same preparation twice. And somewhere in some universe, Mother Yashoda is proposing to Kirtida, propositioning her, please have Radharani come over and cook for my son Krishna. In this way, Radharani is always going over to the house of Maharaj Nanda and associating with Krishna. And somewhere in some universe, Krishna is killing Kamsa right now. Nitya Lila Pravishta. Somewhere Hayagriva is saving the Vedas right now.
There is an opinion that the Lord Chaitanya, in his incarnation, Lord Chaitanya, he has paid off the gopis. How did he pay them off? This is a statement.
I've never read this anywhere. Paid off the gopis. I haven't rather than Prabhupada hasn't referenced it either to any of the books written by the six Goswamis. May or may not be true, I'd have to research that. There's a huge stockpile of books that they're waiting to be translated by the six Goswamis. So I'm not sure which that had paid off the gopis.
When we discuss the Leelas, or especially qualities of Radharani, what are the considerations should be? Should it be the consideration of the audience? Should it be a consideration of the times? We know that Srila Prabhupada rarely has discussed them. So what would be the proper guidance or guidelines for this kind of discussions? 1 second, I have to translate into Russian.
Yeah, that's a good question. So in the neophyte stages, I mean, Prabhupada is quite elaborate in teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Descriptions of Krishna's lusty behavior with Radharani. And he uses the word lust. But he compares it to gold. The spiritual lust of Krishna and the material lust that we experience, or at least I experience, is like iron. It's a source of degradation. And the lawless love of Krishna is described quite elaborately in the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. I believe it's around the, I'm not sure what chapter, so I won't say what chapter it is, but it's there. There's descriptions, even in the Nectar of Devotion, about some, erotic, overtones between Radha and Krishna. It's described that Krishna painted various figures on Radharani's breast when first of all, he embarrassed her by describing that previous evening's activities. And Radharani closed her eyes in embarrassment. And then he proceeded to paint various pictures on her breasts. When we read the Chaitanya Charitamrita, which Prabhupada gave us, there's descriptions in there where Lord Chaitanya is in trance and he's observing Krishna with the gopis in the Yamuna River, and they don't have any clothes on, and Krishna's having kind of passionate pastimes with them. And these are descriptions by Rupa Goswami. Lord Chaitanya was extremely strict about sex desire and his devotees. He would not associate closely with the opposite sex. And one time when he heard Gita Govinda being sung by a lady, he became entranced by the beautiful songs, descriptions of Radha and Krishna. And he was running towards this lady, in ecstasy. He was practically unaware of what he was doing. But Govinda grabbed him and stopped him. He wrestled him. He said, "It's a woman singing." Lord Chaitanya said, "You saved my life." Vairagya Vijanija Bhakti Yoga. Vairagya means detachment from any material desire. And that means detachment from lust, detachment from greed. So when we read these pastimes, we have to make sure that we know that these are completely spiritual and they're imbued with the mood of pure, unalloyed love of Krishna and service to Krishna. Absolutely nothing to do with the halo of lust that is ubiquitous or all-pervasive in the material world. Spiritual lust is called adiras, the original flavor, the original flavor, the lust, the loving exchanges between Krishna and the Radharani and the gopis. So even though they're in Prabhupada's writings quite elaborately, Prabhupada even said, if you're becoming agitated by these stories, then you should not read them, you should not listen to them. And we should not cultivate sahajiya tendencies. So, if you're qualified, if you're a little more advanced, then you can discuss these pastimes with those who can appreciate the pastimes, become enlivened by them, and not experience any kind of bodily arousal or bodily agitation for the opposite sex. Lord Chaitanya, he punished Chota Haridas for begging from a lady that was 90 years old. He's simply begging some rice from an old lady. And Lord Chaitanya banned him from his association. So, when Lord Chaitanya heard that Chota Haridas had committed suicide, he said, yes, he's done the right thing. So especially in the renounced order of life, there's no question of thinking about sexual activities, speaking about it, hearing about it, Shravanam, Kirtanam, lust, no. In the renounced order, Bhaktisiddhanta describes different ways of illicit sex is not just gross, but subtle. Thinking about, hearing about, speaking about, reading, literature about it, willing, fantasizing, desiring. So this is Lord Chaitanya's rule. His rule was, if you're a sannyasi and you associate with the opposite sex privately, at any time, then you're condemned to death. That's the law that Lord Chaitanya established. Very strict, very strict. And a man should see everyone except his wife as his mother. So unless until we're a little more advanced in our spiritual life, and we receive the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his acharyas, then we don't want to indulge in the erotic pastimes of Krishna and the gopis. We have to make that decision. It's upon our own nobility, on our own compunction, on our own honor to discriminate and discern what I can discuss, what I can hear, what I can read, what I can involve myself in.
Could you please tell one of your favorite pastimes with Srimati Radharani?
Oh, one of my favorite pastimes of Radharani is in the Vidagdha Madhava. Now, Vidagdha means cunning. And it's the 12th quality of Radharani. But Krishna is also very cunning. So Rupa Goswami writes this play. And Purnamasi is Yogamaya. She's trying to arrange the meetings in the forest of Vrindavan between Radha and Krishna. And there's Jatila, the mother of Abhimanyu, And she's trying to stop Radharani from meeting Krishna, as we know. And Purnamasi also puts everyone in illusion, thinking that Radharani is always at home with her husband Abhimanyu. And Abhimanyu is always thinking, my Radharani is always at home with me, but he's an illusion. So Radharani is in the forest with Vishaka and Lalita. And Radharani is saying, who is this male that, you know, when I hear his flute, my body starts trembling. And I'm so condemned because I'm actually in love with 3 different males. There's another person, another male, when I hear his name, Krishna, my hairs stand on end. And then there's this other person. Vishaka shows me this picture of this blue boy, and he jumps out of the picture, and I become stunned, and tears, my throat chokes up, and tears come to my eyes. She says, alas, I'm a condemned woman. I'm unchaste. I'm simultaneously attracted to 3 different males. And then Vishaka says, Radharani, don't be mad. It's the same person. The god of this forest, in his darkish bluish complexion, he's strolling through the forest and he's looking for you. So this is a wonderful pastime in a play called Vidagdha Madhava, which is quoted also in the Chanya Charitamrita. Some of the verses written by Rupa Goswami are quoted in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. I don't know them in Sanskrit or Bengali, but in English there's one that says that the transcendental flute of Krishna penetrates the coverings of the universe. It strikes the Gandharvas with wonder, causes the demigods' wives' hair to loosen and their dresses to loosen. It freezes the movements of the clouds in the sky. And it causes Lord Shesh, who is holding up all the universes, to move hither and thither, backwards and forwards. Such is the glories of Krishna's flute playing. Krishna's sweet words, the noise made from his ankle bells, and the jewelry on his body acts like a cuckoo which enters into the ears of the gopis and makes a nest in the ears of the gopis, so that they cannot hear the calling of their husbands and relatives to leave the forest and come home. The aroma of Krishna's body emanates from his 8 lotus parts: his eyes, his lips, his navel, his hands, and his lotus feet. This aroma is the scent of a guru mixed with camphor. When it enters the nostrils of the gopis, they become blinded and they're not able to find their way home to their husbands. These are different poetries written by Rupa Goswami, and they're in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, quoted by Kaviraj Kripanidhi Das Goswami. And one can reflect, devotee is very poetic. One of the qualities of devotee, very poetic. Beautiful poetry written by Goswamis.
What kind of result do we get from hearing about the Leelas of Srimati Radharani?
The result is that our hearts become softened. And hopefully we can aspire to developing within our heart the qualities of Srimati Radharani: humility, and meekness, calmness, gravity, expert in joking, respectful, affectionate to our fellow devotees, develop our attachment to the lotus feet of Krishna. It's very purifying to the heart. The heart is a chamber, and within the heart there is dormant love for Krishna. The spiritual master has planted the seed, the Bhakti Lata beach, and here in the glories of Radharani simply showers of nourishment on that beach. And of course we have to protect this Bhakti Lata by fencing around, by avoiding the aparadharani. Those offenses to the holy name are against Radharani. They're against Radharani. So we have to avoid the 10 offenses to Radharani, lotus feet, so that the Bhakti Lata beach can sprout a beautiful fruit called Krishna Prema, love of God. Yasya prasada bhagavat prasado yasya prasada. By pleasing our great acharyas, our spiritual masters, engaging humbly in their service, we'll please Radharani and hopefully become blessed by Srimati Radharani, so that we can develop an attachment to Lord Krishna's beautiful lotus feet.
Blessings to the devotees. Give the blessings to the devotees.
Hare Krishna, I have no blessing, but I want your blessings.
Он говорит, у меня нет благословения, но я попросила, он ручки выставил.
Give me your blessing.
Дайте мне свои благословения, вы дайте мне благословение.
Go to the post office, take some dust from your feet, put it in an envelope,
пожалуйста, пойдите на почту, положите свои благословения в конвертик и присылайте мне сюда.
and mail it here to me in Mayapur.
Пожалуйста. They don't want to say goodbye. They're asking, could you please give the final meditation for today? Please give them final meditation for today.
Radharani is full of a golden aroma like 10 million moons. Golden moons. So we can meditate on the beautiful effulgence of Radharani. She takes 3 baths during the day. The first one is in the bath of mercy in the morning. At lunchtime she takes bath in the bath of youthfulness. And the third bath is the bath of bodily beauty and effulgence. And that is in her Kaishori age. Kaishori. So we can meditate on her mercy, her youth, and her beautiful heart, and her infinite beauty of love for Krishna. Radharani ki jai!